Welcome back to the Breaker Bros. And tonight we're going to react to the Bengals 2025 schedule release. I guess we're going to start with the video. I'm not sure if you want to jump into it or if there's.
Yeah, I mean, let's react. All right. So I have not seen this. So true reaction from me. Wait, did he go back to the old haircut?
Yeah, I think he's back with a headband. Because last year he had short blonde hair, I think. But
oh man, we're back to headband Joe Burrow, and now he's going to the Met Gala. Oh, okay.
Here's the Bengals 2025 schedule.
Cut.
Let's get to work.
Got it. Let's tear it down.
Is that Ocho Cinco?
no, that was Jamar Chase.
Oh, okay.
You just gonna drop it? Just get the table, man.
Okay, so you're doing it like a movie?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of have to watch it. I think it's one of those videos where if you keep watching it, you'll start to see things here and there. You'll notice things, but
okay.
I wanted to make the screen big here because I actually missed this the first time I watched it because I watched it off my cell phone.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to tell you when to pause.
Oh, okay, you tell me when to pause.
Okay.
Should I push play?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Unpause.
Say while I was speaking, broke boy.
Oh, motion sickness.
That thing's still rolling? No, it's off. Can you believe we played Pittsburgh on Thursday night?
Okay. I don't know. Can you read that? Pause.
Okay. The views and opinions expressed on this film are permitted under the laws of the National Football League and the Cincinnati Bengals. The characters and events in this film are scripted. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, is not a coincidence, but very accurate. Just like the following statements. The Factory of Sadness nickname won't wake up. What won't? It's hard to read. Factory of Sadness nickname wasn't made up by a rival. It was born in Cleveland. There you go. Jaguars are known to hide in trees and are considered, does that say losers?
I think loners.
Loners. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Real Viking helmets don't actually have horns. Okay, so this is just trash talk.
Yeah, it's like banter.
Banta? A Bronco?
Yeah.
The cream of the crop.
Are you trying to read it off of YouTube or
yeah,
the screen through? I think you might just have to fix your resolution.
You think it's my resolution?
Yeah, because if you don't.
Oh yeah, I've got it on auto.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does that on purpose.
Oh, not now.
No, just do the 1080p, man.
Why didn't you warn me? Like I'm literally oh my gosh, it's so much clearer.
It's like you don't have beer goggles anymore.
Yeah, well the funny thing is by like focusing so hard, like I see the lines still. Like my vision is striped now. Like, you know, like white and black stripes.
It's like that optical illusion effect.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so much easier to read. Real Viking, a Bronco horse has less horsepower than a vehicle, correct. In a one-on-one fight, a tiger is considered to have an advantage over a lion. The name Packers originated from a meat packing factory.
Oh, hey, what are you gonna do? Hey.
The Pittsburgh mascot is named Steely McBeam and is rumored to be friends with Bodie McBoatface. I like that. Fighter jets don't have an ignition key. What's that about?
That one, I'm not sure. That one kind of flew over my head.
There were more chests of tea thrown into the harbor than there were passing yards in any Patriots game last season.
That might be the best one.
A raven's call is commonly referred to as a gurgling croak. There are no buffalo native to Buffalo.
How dare you?
Bottlenose dolphins are known to enjoy looking at themselves in mirrors.
Oh, hey.
And northern cardinals are native to eastern Canada and are rarely found in the desert. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I missed that initially. All right, let me switch the screens.
Okay. So back at it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Jake Browning, understudy.
Oh,
Are they roasting their own team?
Sorry, this is another thing. I saw someone on Twitter. They did point out that maybe the Leaping Tiger is back. I don't know if they put
Oh,
it in
yeah.
the field.
Do we still have the fat leaping tiger that we made that one year?
For a thumbnail,
Remember-
or
Remember when we were trying to guess what the new jerseys were going to be? And we did artistic renderings of things?
oh yeah,
And we made like a fat tiger for the offensive lineman. Yeah, I designed the helmet for offensive linemen. I put the fat tiger and then like the Anthony Munoz face mask on it.
I remember that now. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. So I'm all for the leaping tiger as long as he gets fat.
I'm gonna
Okay.
try not to say too much. I just want to see what your initial reaction to it is.
What's this over here? Somebody left the schedule out.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. We playing. Yeah, that Browns game's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, but we don't even know who they about to be starting. Who they know?
Doesn't matter. I'm sacking him.
Man, they out here collecting QBs like they Pokemon.
Okay. I just feel I know that I'm not supposed to pause on my own, but I did anyways.
You can. Why does it matter?
I feel like someone was like, "Hey guys, just act natural. It's not hard. Just pretend like you found the schedule. Just, just be yourselves." That was bad directing. They should have said, "Don't be yourselves. Be interesting. Do something funny."
Like make it more sarcastic.
It just feels like it's scripted.
Well, for sure. Like to me, this feels more like a like school project type thing where,
Yes.
like, if you look at the Los Angeles Chargers release video, you can tell they hired like a professional team, or they like actual hired professional animators. Like it's very
This was just
professional.
like an Elizabeth Blackburn joint here, just like.
But I would like to think maybe this is like a sly way for the Bengals as like an organization to get back at the NFL, because they're trying to make this like a big deal, and they're kind of like, all right, we're just going to do this not to get fined type deal. Because like they seem to get screwed on the schedule. What?
This is. It's not that it's bad. I just think this is me imitating you. I just think that the Bengals did this as a double middle finger to the NFL. They're like, "Yeah, you want us to make a video? We are going to make a real, just absolute turd of a video."
I think that's the case. Did
You think that's the case?
last
I
year
think
was
that's the
same.
funniest thing I've heard all day. I like it.
Because I was reading some comments of other people's initial reaction to the schedule, and they brought out a lot of different points. But this is like the fourth year in a row where we're playing a divisional rival at their place in prime time, and the majority of primetime games that we have are away. So it's like, and I think Joe Goodberry, he pointed this out. I think he counted all the primetime games Thursday, night games and the 4 p.m. games. Guess how many home games that the Bengals had in those situations?
How many are there? Are you going to give me a hint as to how
I'm
many
sorry.
there
The
are
total,
overall?
I think they have like 40 something games. It's like 40 in the range of mid 40s or
The
whatever.
Bengals are playing 40 games?
No, like since Burrow. Like
Oh, okay.
that's the
They've
first
had
season's
40 in
games
the
either
prime
in
time, 4
time.
p.m. How many of those have been at home?
Yeah.
I'm going to say like 20%. So 8?
Yeah, it's actually pretty close. It was like
Oh, okay.
it's like 7 or 8. I'm like, what?
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. So there's
Not
like
surprised.
so yeah, and that's why I kind of get to the conclusion that maybe they did this on purpose. Maybe it seems lackluster just because, like I said, this is kind of like their middle finger to the NFL.
Yeah.
Like,
So to get back at not getting enough home primetime games, the Bengals made a bad video because they knew that it would piss off the NFL.
well, it's not just getting like home primetime games, but it's like there's also other parts of the schedule where I think they have to play at 4 p.m. and then they play Thursday night, or maybe
really?
it's, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
we'll look at the schedule a little bit closer. But
Okay. All right. Okay. So push play again.
yeah,
Come on.
Okay. This is good.
this is like because I remember when I first watched it, I'm like, wait a second. I just kept on like waiting for something big to happen.
Yeah. So was there a 3 minute and 46-second time requirement on this? And they were like, we're just going to leave it running. Who ran past there?
That was,
that?
Chase Brown. I had
Oh,
paused it a few
okay.
times because I thought maybe there was like a possibly like an Easter egg.
Yeah.
So
That's our Easter egg, right?
they are on the road a lot to start the season. Yes. I think the best way to look at the season, if you just break it down by like 6 games and 3
Yeah.
parts.
Can I pause?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
But yeah, no, if you break the season down into 6-game increments, like
Yes.
first, second, and third, yeah, the first half seems like
Wait, you just did thirds, and now you're
Sorry,
throwing
sorry,
in half.
sorry. Yeah, I can't. I'm so
Now we
used
doing sixths?
no, I'm used to doing 8.
Okay.
But if you look at it in 6-game increments, the
So
first
thirds.
yeah, the
The
thirds,
first third.
yeah, the first third or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, they're on the road a lot,
Mhm.
and then
That's good.
and then it looks like the middle portion of the schedule. I might have this
Mhm.
backwards. I think it's like where you play. Yeah, I think the middle portions where they play either like a lot of easier teams
Mm-hmm.
or harder teams. We'll have to look at the schedule again, but I saw like a breakdown and they did it by 6 games, and you can kind of see a pattern there. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, like I said. Oh, hey, Dustin. Okay. Okay, yeah, but did you hear Josh's conspiracy theory about how the Bengals made it extra corny as a gotcha to the NFL?
Yeah,
For
because
past wrongs.
if you look at some of the other teams, I mean, I would say the majority of other teams, they kind of make this a big team, like a big deal. Like they make it a real big production.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't mind that. Like I said, it feels kind of like a high school project. I kind of like that better anyways. Like I feel like it gives you a chance to do more creative things. But also, like I said, I feel like this is a video.
Okay, I feel like we've been like real negative on this. The thing that I like is that the players are in it. I don't like the ones where the players are not in it.
You agree? Like Chargers anime videos, kind of like. Okay,
So I think he agrees about your conspiracy theory. I'm not on board with the conspiracy theory. I think that this is one of those things where, like, as they're making it, the people in charge of making it probably think it's like the funniest thing ever. They're like laughing, spitting water on each other because they're like, this is just so funny. Everybody's going to love this. Right? So I think this is a real earnest effort. And like I said, I like that the players are in it. I don't like the ones where they just get a celebrity to do it. Although my favorite is still like the Titans doing Broadway. and just asking random random what do you call it? Groups of like bridal. What do they call it when the bride goes on her party, bachelorette party?
Yeah.
So it's called. They're asking just random bachelorette parties. Hey, who's this team? And they don't know who they are. That's funny.
Yeah, and I like how
that's peak
videos.
That's peak schedule release, and like this is it's okay. Or
I feel like it's like olives. It's like it's an acquired taste. I feel like this video, it's like you're either gonna like it or you're not. And I feel like the more I watch it, I like it. But I do like the variety though throughout the league. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like the Chargers release video this year too. I didn't actually watch all of it, but it was like Minecraft.
Yeah, well, you like anime, so that I think that's particular to your tastes.
Not necessarily anime. I mean, I watch a little bit of Pokemon, or not.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
but I mean, like you like that stuff, so I think it hits special for you. Yeah,
Maybe it's you getting older. You love ball. All this extra stuff doesn't do it for you anymore. Sorry, Debbie Downer. Just win, man. Yeah. I think. Whoops. I think a lot of people are starting to get to that. I think it's more of like like a mental fatigue, to where like maybe the last 10 years or so, like everything's become a spectacle, and maybe it's just
yeah. I mean, it's just
to the
like
point too where it's like
everything's an event, right?
Yeah.
And
I feel
it's
like
just kind of played out. I kind of see that. But at the same time, I'd be disappointed if there wasn't a video.
Yeah, I think it's fine, but I also think it's to the point where you don't have to overanalyze it. I think it's cool to look at the different things, but I mean, they are professionals. Because I remember thinking like
at being football players.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're professional.
Not at
athletes.
acting.
But I think sometimes we get too worried about, and I even said this earlier, which is kind of erotic, but it's like, are they playing games too close to each other? And, you worry about injuries too much rather than just playing ball, So I feel like sometimes as fans, we worry about things that we don't really have any control over. And it's.
Well, yeah, we don't have anything. We don't have control over any of the stuff. We barely have control over where you park when you go to the game.
That's true.
All right. Let's see what else we got going on here.
That is the worst color Gatorade you could have chosen. Yellow is the worst.
Oh, yeah, bro. Actually, now that I think about it, I hate yellow.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
I think that was the Steelers dig, right?
Yeah. Very subtle Steelers dig. Hey, throw that cup away. Or are you in on the joke?
No, I'm not. I was trying to see what kind of cup it was, but it's Hat Creek. I'm not sure if it's in Ohio yet. It's like
What's
a
Hat
burger
Creek?
joint. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's just water.
Party water.
Ooh, orange. Cheers.
I think they start laughing at themselves at that point because they knew that.
Okay, act like you guys are friends.
I think they are. 'Cause I feel like you kind of.
Yeah, they're definitely friends. He put his arm around them. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they're for sure friends. They probably are going to go get some burgers.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. See you.
Like the whole time, like I said, I kept on thinking like something was going to happen, which just looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all hear that?
Sound like a bird in here.
Ravens dig.
I got it.
The samurai sword.
This doesn't feel like a high school project. It feels like a talent show at the end of like camp.
Kind of. I don't know. Let's see. Your two bold predictions this year. Commanders fall off big time. Tons of holes on their roster. Other bold prediction. Arizona makes it to the second round of the playoffs. You guys got any early predictions? I think the funny part
Be
is
bold.
we actually played the Commanders in preseason
Oh, okay.
the second week. I guess that would be my bold prediction. Is
What's
not
that?
necessarily that they're going to have a hot start, which I hope they do. Is that they're actually going to play more starters throughout the preseason. That would be one of my
That's
bold.
your prediction?
Yeah. I would like to see like the starting offensive players at least play one full quarter together.
I'd be happy if they were in training camp.
What do you mean?
Well, last season there were holdouts, right? The season before Burrow was hurt. I mean, it's just like it'd be nice if they're all just there. They don't even have to practice together, just that they're like there, you know? But, okay, prediction. I feel like we're going to lose week 1.
Against the Browns?
Yes.
That is
We
bold.
always lose first week.
So is that bold then?
Yeah, I don't think it's bold, but
But
I'd
it is
rather
the
us play like the toughest game on our schedule week 1, because then if we lose, then it's like only like a 50-50 game, and then I want to save all the games that we should win for the second half of the season.
Okay. I don't think this is that bold of a prediction, but I did think of this the other day, and I do feel like the Steelers are low-key trying to tank. So I do see a weird situation where the Browns actually have a better record than the Steelers, and the Steelers miss the playoffs. Because I have no clue what they're doing on offense.
Who?
The Steelers. I mean, they traded for Metcalf, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
was it Metcalf? Yeah.
Yeah,
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. Yes.
But then they traded away Pickens, and they
Yeah.
still don't have a quarterback, and they didn't really address their offensive line. I mean, their defense is stout, but I don't know what they're going to do on offense. Like, I guess they're going to have to hold teams to 3 points, I guess, like every week.
They might. I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to show up.
But even with Aaron Rodgers,
Is that a bold prediction? Aaron Rodgers suits up for the Steelers.
yeah, but that's like, is that really going to push the needle? Like, he's older. I don't think he's as mobile. And
It's kind of like repeat of what they did last year.
the Steelers,
Yeah, quarterback.
but I think they're going to be worse.
I don't know. I like Aaron Rodgers, so we'll see.
I don't not like him, but I do recognize that he's getting older and he takes a lot more sacks than what he's used to or what he has done in the past. So I feel like I don't think the Steelers' offensive line is going to be that much better, especially in pass protection. So I don't know. It should be
Than the
interesting.
Jets?
I feel like, well, was the Jets' offensive line that bad last year? I can't remember. It could have been.
I don't know. I just
I
assumed it wasn't good.
I know a little bit more about the Steelers than I do about the Jets, but I just know the Steelers' offensive
Just
line.
don't
not that
play
great.
when was his name Danny White?
Who? Danny
Brian
White?
White? Yeah,
You're about the
remember when-
quarterback.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Bengals played, and like that guy that played for
Yeah,
like UCF threw like 5 touchdowns against the Bengals
Was it
with the Jets.
Devin White? No. But you're right. It's something White, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Regardless, it was like a third string.
Moving on. Yes.
Happy feet for the first 3 weeks last year. Trying to remember. I think there was a lot of things going on early on last
They
year.
didn't have his number 1 receiver. That was going on. Wasn't T. Higgins hurt a little bit too at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, T. Higgins missed the first couple of weeks. Jamar Chase basically missed all of.
He wasn't
offseason.
right at the
Yeah.
beginning of the season. Took a while for him to become who he can be. I mean,
That's why I was a little confused about your comment about everyone being in training camp. I think that's the advantage this year is that at least on the offensive side.
No, that's what I was saying. I'm saying it's good that everybody's going to be in camp this year.
Yeah.
I don't care.
The
I was saying I don't
Steelers
care if they
playoffs
play
this
in the preseason. I just want to see them at camp.
Wait, Tomlin's never missed the playoffs? I feel like he has. I just don't think
I
he's
know-
ever had a
losing
losing
season.
record. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's
Fairly
a question for
confident.
the internets.
Google it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fact check that, Dustin.
Yeah. All right, we got to get back to this video.
Oh, okay.
It's almost over though.
Almost
really
over.
is. Yeah.
Ted.
So is that Chase Brown?
I believe it's Chase Brown.
Okay, well that's good that he's recovered.
You guys need a quarterback for this?
No, they filmed it with Joe already.
Should have cast me.
It is kind of corny though. Like, but I think that's what makes it funny.
Hey, let's make fun of the fact that you're the backup. Got
Right.
it. I got you.
Yo, the joint still on?
Yeah, that's it.
And if you need to poop better, something about
Can you pull up a picture of the schedule? There might be one on
yeah.
Twitter.
Okay, let's see here. Give me a moment.
I got one over here, but actually maybe I can just share this. Let's see if I can just share my screen. Just not sure how it's going to look. I guess, well, I feel like there might be a better one than that. Oops. I only take
I don't
mine
know
off.
if this is accurate.
Yeah, because
but I
that's
have
Jesse
one.
Bates.
Is this right?
No,
This isn't it?
Jesse Bates, and then T. Higgins is in an 85 jersey. And then we're playing the Vikings in the first week. I know we're playing Browns, Jags.
Well, Vikings are on the schedule because I remember they made fun of the helmet.
Yeah, they are on the schedule, but
Bengals 2025 NFL. Ignore the spelling. Schedule. Oh, okay, you got it. Just zoom in on that.
yeah, no, this should work.
Okay.
So Cleveland away is not too bad. Oh, I also saw another thing where the Bengals travel the least out of all the NFL teams. Not sure if that really makes that big of a difference, but
Okay. Oh, they play on Thanksgiving.
yeah, and it's Baltimore.
Oh, it's at Baltimore.
Yeah. I think I'm sure Baltimore is fine too, but I think it would be awesome if they did that in Cincinnati. But then again, I'm not sure. I feel like a lot of people would still show up even on
Oh
Thanksgiving.
yeah, people would show up. That's like a perfect match. The NFL and like Thanksgiving. It's just such a good way to tailgate, right? It'd be like 5,000 turkeys frying in the parking lot. Okay, so
Would
they
be
got
pretty nice. All right,
2 Monday nights, 1 Thursday night, well, 2 Thursday nights, right? Because
Yep.
Thanksgiving's on Thursday, and then a Sunday night.
I did see something with that Buffalo game at 4:25.
Yeah.
I think Fox had already declared that game the game of the week.
Good.
America's game
I
of the
hope
week.
so.
So I feel like that might be locked in at that particular time.
Well, I hope
Plus,
the NFL scriptwriters give us a good, good record by then. All right, yeah, because we don't want to do the predictions because like predictions are for last week of training camp, right? So August 23rd ish is when we'll do the prediction.
Looking at this many games on the NFL schedule is rough. Player safety. yeah, I think eventually, well, I don't know if they add another bye to the schedule, then they're just going to add another game. That would be the thing. But I feel like the problem too with what I feel like is going to happen if they keep adding games to the regular season is that they're essentially going to create a preseason type feel to the end of the season. Because the really good teams, if they can lock into their seed or whatever, and there's still 2 or 3 weeks left of the season, they're just gonna. Oh, can you hear my screen or something?
I was trying to push buttons and nothing was happening.
Oh, okay. I just saw something muted, so I wasn't sure if you could hear.
Yeah, I
something.
muted your screen because I was playing with the mute and unmute. I
Okay.
don't know. It's unpredictable.
I wasn't sure if my Twitter was like playing a sound in the background or something, but as
No,
long as we can't
just
get
me.
copyright, that's all that matters. The week 17 was a joke last year. Yeah, especially that Chiefs game. Like, I just could not believe. But then again, they kind of got beat like that in the Super Bowl. So maybe that wasn't like too far off. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the first 6 games, there's a lot of away games. I think Dustin had mentioned that, 5 out of the 6? Or is it, hold on.
4?
Yeah, 4 out of the 6 are away.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first couple of weeks, like the first 2 weeks seem to be winnable, right? And then it gets pretty tough for the next 3 games. Maybe actually 4. That's a tough stretch right there. Minnesota, Denver, Detroit, Green Bay. Oh, that Detroit is a home game. That would be a good one to go to.
Yeah. I don't know about Minnesota this year.
Oh yeah.
Who's their quarterback?
The guy from Michigan. Is it JJ McCarthy?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his last name exactly, but
Yeah, I think it's McCarthy.
okay. And then yeah, so I feel like okay, so the middle portion of the schedule is where I guess we have more home games, because we do have a stretch where we have 3 home games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, Jets, Chicago, and a bye week. That's actually really nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I'm
I
with
mean, it's
Dustin.
3 home games.
I think the schedule's tough. Except maybe they're planning on Cleveland not being good this year, because they bookended our season with Cleveland.
Well, I think Cleveland. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of bookends with our division if you look at it, because look, it's Cleveland at the first and last game,
Uh-huh.
and then it goes Pittsburgh, New York, Chicago, by Pittsburgh, and then here's the weird one. Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Like I'm not sure if I'm going to like that at all.
Yeah, but there's a long break between the Thanksgiving game and the December 7th game.
Wait, is there? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, it's more than 7 days, right? It's like 10 days.
Wait, which from? Oh, yeah. The
Week 13 to 14.
Yeah. Yeah, that is December. Yeah, that is a Sunday. Yeah, so that'd be the 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's too early for us to predict. That's you got to wait for that content in August. You go through and you predict the record. So I don't want to get too much into predicting things because it's too far away. But I do feel like the NFL is planning for something good to happen to the Bengals this year based on looking at the schedule.
Yeah, because it's like a soft start, finish, and middle. Because
I'm just looking at like the number of Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night, and then all the 425 games.
I mean, look at it. So we start with Cleveland, then Jacksonville, winnable games, and then we end with Arizona, Cleveland at home. And then if you look at the middle stretch, Green Bay is going to be tough for sure. But then, if my thoughts are correct, which they could be wrong, Pittsburgh is probably not going to be that tough, in my opinion. Jets, Chicago, bye week, Pittsburgh, New England.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty soft.
I don't know, man.
Now, it is Pittsburgh, and they have a pretty good defense still.
Yeah, I mean,
Divisional
you
rival.
just exude confidence. That's the best part about looking at schedules with you. You're just so into it, and I see it, and you're like, oh, we're gonna win week 1. I'm like, we haven't won week 1 in forever.
I don't think I said we're gonna win. I just said they're winnable games.
Well, all the games are winnable.
Well, I mean, like percentage wise, should be like in the 70% win, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the one thing I will say is that you really don't know how good your schedule is until like week 3 or week 4, because these are all based off of expectations. And
that's true.
Usually you find out teams that were supposed to be good aren't good, and then teams that.
That's why I feel like Cleveland's going to probably shock a little people, or shock quite a few people, because they're going to be a lot more competitive than what they think. And then
I just think Cleveland's going to be a circus this year. How could they be any good?
The opposite. I think
how
part
could
of
Cleveland be any good this year? They've
all they ever
drafted
needed
a
was
circus.
a slightly above average quarterback, and they would actually be a playoff team. That's all they've ever needed.
Yeah, but they've created they've created a whole problem for themselves based on their draft.
A decent passing attack.
Yeah, but like their draft was insane.
It was pretty good.
What?
Are we talking about the Browns?
Yeah.
What's wrong? They got Mason Graham. They got Judkins. They got Fannin. They got that linebacker out of. They had a really strong draft. The only weird part was they drafted 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They created a circus for themselves.
No.
What do you mean no?
Well, I don't. It's really going to come down to 2 quarterbacks. And
but they have 3, right? They have Flacco, right?
I get it. I get they have 4. I think.
No. I mean, but like Flacco's going to start week 1, right?
For sure.
Right, and then they're going to have either Shedeur Sanders is going to start, and then they're going to say, "Well, why did you waste a 3rd-round pick on Dylan Gabriel?" Right, or the flip, somehow Gabriel starts, and then it's just going to be like, "Well, Sanders should be starting." They've just created like all these stories by being stupid.
Yeah, but outside of that, if you look at the roster, it's pretty solid, top down.
Yeah.
And I feel like they had a pretty strong draft. I don't think Gabriel was ever considered a starter. He's just backup material, in my opinion. It's going to be between Flacco and Sanders, and they're going to start Flacco because he's a veteran.
You ready for a bold prediction? Dylan Gabriel is. I was going to say Drew Brees, not quite Drew Brees, but he's going to be like Doug Flutie 2.0. There you go.
I can see,
but more like Drew Brees.
That's not
but more like Drew Brees. The guy is awesome.
Yeah, no, that's
don't sleep on Dylan Gabriel. He's short. That's his only problem is he's short.
That's a problem.
Huh?
Historically, that's a problem when most of your offensive linemen are 6'5". He can't throw over the middle.
I don't understand. Is Shedeur Sanders 6'5"?
No, but
he's like what, 6'1"?
No, but I think Gabriel's what, 5'8"?
I don't know.
They said if he was like 2 inches taller, he would have for sure been drafted a lot higher.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got a really good arm talent. Like that's not. Let's see, I know the Browns QB play was bad last year, but if you look at their O-line rankings, finished near the bottom in most categories. Well, I think they had a lot of injuries too. But if you just look at their starters and assuming that they can come back to what they were before or close to it, then I still feel like they have a pretty solid offensive line. Didn't do anything to infuse it. I thought. No, they drafted a guy we liked last year. It was that dude from Michigan, the guard.
Mm-hmm.
But
Zender?
Yeah,
Zenter?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Did he play last year?
I don't know. That's a good question. Cleveland Browns offensive line was ranked near the bottom, specifically 24th in pass blocking efficiency by PFF. Yeah, I don't know. Because I was looking at their here. Let me pull up their depth chart.
Okay.
Browns. I just remember looking at this the other day and thinking, like, you know what? Their roster does not look that bad at all. Okay, so. Oh, okay.
Zinter
DeJuan
played-
Jones is actually the starter now, or considered the starter. They still have DeJuan Jones, the tackle from Ohio State. They have Joel Patino, which I thought was pretty good. They have Ethan.
What? Batonio. I think Batonio is.
Wait, you got PFF, right? Can we just look at the.
Yeah. Let me pull it up. Player grades.
DeJuan Jones, but he's big, fat, injured all the time. Well, that was his knock. Yeah, they're getting old, but I still feel like they're solid. Well, hold on. And then, yeah, Zinter. Oh, that's right. They signed Jenkins in the offseason.
Tevin Jenkins?
Yeah. That was a lot of Bengals fans wanted him at one point, but he's obviously hurt. Because, like, the contract that he got was, like, $3 million. And most people thought he was going to get, like, 7 or maybe even 13.
There's a way to look at it on a team basis. Yeah, Kevin Zeitler, number 3, the last solid guard the Bengals drafted. Okay, Tevin Jenkins
for like 2 decades. That's
ranked as the 13th best guard, and then they have Batonio at 40. Oh, Lucas Patrick, 37. The Bengals have a guard in the top 37. Yeah. Oof. Oof.
That is kind of rough.
Yeah. Then let's look at centers. There you go. Karras, 21. Pochik, 24.
Okay, maybe he was a little bit worse than what I thought. Good call, Dustin. Good call. Yeah, I mean,
Cornelius
if that's the case, then yeah, maybe the Browns. Yeah,
but 74.1 is good, like because it's green.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Conklin, he's still decent.
Yeah, I mean their tackles are decent, but
I mean you can't say that they're that bad because they're both ranked higher than the Bengals. Is that right? Am I just missing it? The Bengals don't have a tackle on the first page.
that just doesn't feel right.
Should dominate page 2 though.
Yeah, they should be the first. Well, no.
No, not quite. They're right there though. 66 and 67. Oof.
I don't know. I mean, I get their grades for what they grade are probably consistent from team to team, but from what I've seen, I just don't think they played that bad based off the grade. Obviously, there's still room for improvement. And honestly, I thought Orlando Brown did pretty good because most of the time he was playing with an injury. Maybe it was his run blocking that really...
Yeah, his run blocking
that makes sense.
is really low.
Which is weird because I think historically he's always had a really good run blocking.
Mm.
I feel like looking at
it's like depressing because you want to knock other teams' players and you're just like, wow, Bengals don't even have somebody, you know. Our second best guard's Cordell Volson, according to this.
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to like jinx it, but I feel pretty good about Fairchild.
I hope so. I hope he's better than the top 50.
I feel like there's a strong chance. Orlando was having a Pro Bowl year until he got hurt. Yeah, that's what it felt like. And then I think he played on. I think that was part of the problem is that he played on the injury because he got hurt a little bit, and then I think he played on it too much, and then he made it a lot worse. But didn't he come back at the end of the year though and played with an injury? I think that's what it was. Fairly confident he missed some time, but then he came back and still played with an injury, which is kind of crazy. Mims shut down Watt and Garrett. Yeah, I like Mims a lot. I feel like grading wise, I feel like you should see a pretty significant improvement for both.
I wonder if
Mims
this will
and
tell us
Brown.
the height of the quarterbacks.
Can't you just Google it? Actually, you talking about Gabriel? You want to see how tall he is?
Yeah, it doesn't say. Joe Flacco's 6'6". Deshaun Watson 6'2".
They say he's 5'11" on Google, but I don't think that's right.
I wonder if the NFL Combine.
It should be on there, unless for some reason he didn't get measured. But I feel like
That's just about all they do.
that'd be a red flag if you don't want to get your height.
No height measurements. You could take your boots off, sir? Nope. Okay. Quarterback. Oh, they only have... Oh, that's the 40 participants. QB. Shedeur Sanders is
I feel like he's at least 6 foot.
6 foot, 1.5.
Yeah.
And then Gabriel.
I feel like he's 5'10".
I'm going to say 5'9". 5'11".
Okay, he is 5'11". It's not that short.
No.
They did have a picture of him though, like all 4 quarterbacks, and he looked really short compared to all of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, look, I think that there's a significant advantage if you're like 6'5" or 6'6" compared to someone who's 5'11". But like between 5'11" and 6'1" and a half, no way, man. That's like negligible to me.
Browns fans getting upset with Mason Graham. Yeah, I did see that. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of normal. People puking first day of camp, because sometimes it's just they go too hard. It's not necessarily that they're out of shape, which he could have been. I wasn't really paying attention that much, but I feel like some people, they just, when they come back, they just overdo it and you puke. It gets hot out there.
Hand 9 3/8. Dylan Gabriel 9 1/4. Ah, that's the real knock, right?
I feel like that's
I don't know,
the
man.
same as Burrow though.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Hold on. How tall? I feel like he might be the same height as Doug Flutie. I think you might have.
I think Doug Flutie's like actually short. I was gonna say Drew Brees, but like I don't think it's fair.
Doug
to
Flutie is
compare.
5'10".
Okay, what about Drew Brees? Was he like 6 foot even?
I feel like he might have been. That sounds about right.
I don't know. I googled Drew Brees.
Yeah, 6 foot.
Okay, but like the big knock on Drew Brees was his height, right? He couldn't throw it over that. But like,
I mean, still 5'11" is still kind of on the short end. Because it's harder for them to see over the offensive lineman. Like,
yeah, but how's it easier to see over offensive lineman if you're 6'1"? They're still taller than you.
no, that's true. But most quarterbacks nowadays are, especially starting quarterbacks, are at least 6'3". I'd say
I mean,
most of them.
again, like I said, like, yeah, if you got a guy who's 6'5", 6'6", yes, I think that's an advantage. And yeah, I think you probably can see a little bit better. If you're talking about someone who's 5'11" and someone's 6 foot tall, I just don't think that makes a difference, or 6'1" or 6'2", because all the guys blocking are like 6'5", 6'6". So I don't know. We'll agree to disagree. We'll see. Either way, I'm just saying that this doesn't bode well for like team building and stuff. Like, I just don't think that you spend all those draft picks on guys and then not have them play.
Deshaun Watson is effectively out.
Yeah.
The Kenny Pickett trade, that I don't know what's going on with that. That seems kind of weird to me.
Also, they have Kenny Pickett too.
Yeah, they traded.
Like,
that's
what
the
are they
thing,
doing?
Traded for Kenny Pickett. That's the funny part. That's why BJ Hill said they're collecting quarterbacks like Pokemon.
Yeah. But that's what the crazy thing is. Imagine how good their roster would be if, like, I mean, how many draft picks do they have invested in their quarterback room, right?
Oh yeah, how tall is Bryce Young? But yeah, no, you're right. The thing about Bryce Young though, and I haven't seen a lot of him, but when I do watch him, I feel like he's a pretty accurate quarterback. Like he's got like a nice touch on the ball, and he's like fairly athletic for his build. I feel like he's pretty quick. But yeah, no, it was nice to see him bounce back because I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And I'm biased because, you know, I've been to a lot of Bearcats games and I've seen Dylan Gabriel play quite a bit over the past 8 years or 10 years he's been in college. You know, because he started at UCF and then he went to Oklahoma and they came to Cincinnati when he played for Oklahoma and then at Oregon. So I think he's a lot better than people think he is. Huh?
He's from Hawaii? That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks from Hawaii.
Yeah, no, they love.
I don't
football.
know because of the sand. I don't know. Wind. Maybe they're good at throwing because of wind. Something about it.
Bryce Young can process so quick. You think him and Burrow the fastest processors in the game? I can see that. Trying to think. Because there is something to that. I don't feel like, especially when it's like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, I don't think they think like Burrow. And don't get me wrong, they're very athletic. Allen and Mahomes have insane arms, and Lamar Jackson is just a freak all around. And he's gotten better with his passing overall, but I just think Burrow understands the game on a whole nother level. And I also think he's a master at like manipulating the pocket. Like the way he has his presence with the pocket, like he can force defenders to move out of the way, or at least get his blockers in a better position by the way he moves around in the pocket. And I feel like with some of the other quarterbacks, they're just so quick. As soon as they feel that pressure, they run out of the pocket because they know they can create more time just by running and potentially throw it down, or they can just at the very least run 10 or 15 yards because they're just fast enough. And they don't really give time to let the play develop. And I feel like there was a handful of times, especially last year, where Burrow took, a few extra steps and stepped up in the pocket or moved around just to let the play to develop a little bit more. And they basically turned into like big plays. And I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for that type of stuff. That is where Sanders will struggle. Can't process quick enough. I don't know. Haven't seen enough of his, college games, but I've heard he had to deal with a lot of pressure. I don't think Colorado's offensive line was that great. And I heard he was still fairly accurate. But to be fair, it seems like he relied too much on Hunter a lot. So
yeah, that's my take on it. Is I think he's a lot more of a projection than people, or that all the people whining about where he got drafted and the media has been complaining about. All the ESPN people crying and moaning about where he got drafted. I think they're overlooking the fact that I think he's a lot more of a projection than they are giving him credit for, because you have Travis Hunter, and he's played so much with Travis Hunter, and just being able to just lean on him. And the other thing is, I put a lot of stock in winning games and winning things in college. And to me, it's just like, how good of an NFL player can you be if your team didn't win anything in college? Like, why didn't they, if he was like, name your elite NFL quarterback. If he was that elite, then how come Colorado didn't win the Big 12?
who did?
I don't remember. TCU?
I'm just curious who the team
Kansas State or TCU, something like that.
Hmm.
No. Arizona State won. Arizona State won.
Who's their quarterback?
Can't remember.
Is he going to be drafted? Probably.
I don't know. He's
Dustin says, "Let's be honest, guys. Big 12 plays Swiss cheese defense."
well. That's actually says Swiss chess defense. It's very elaborate.
Oh,
Jesse, sorry to bang on your typo there, but it's kind of funny. No, I'm not saying that the Big 12 has good defense, but what I am saying is that if you're like an elite quarterback, like a surefire elite quarterback, surefire first round draft pick in the NFL, and you have Travis Hunter on your team, you should be in the Big 12 championship game. I mean, usually guys that are drafted 1 overall are like guys that are playing in national championship games. And I don't know. I put a lot of stock in winning.
yeah. I mean, it's a good trait to have, for sure. That's what I think Bill Parcells used to do. That was like one of his criteria.
Yeah, like a certain 66% of their games they have to win or something weird. Something weirdly specific, but not.
Well, yeah, it's you had to have so many wins, but also so many starts. Like he was looking for people that at least started 2 or 3 years and had.
Well, he started that because he played at Jackson State, right? So he's got 3 years.
You agree with Eric? Look how Shador played against BYU in the bowl game. They were like legit defense. Did you watch the bowl game?
I vaguely remember watching it, but I think it must have been like half awake, half asleep. Or maybe I just saw the highlights. It was like a wild game, right? Wasn't it like back and forth or something?
I don't know. I always end up just watching the championship game. I'm not really. I mean, every now and then I'll see some like brief moments of college. I don't know. I just never really got into college
Oh,
football.
no, it wasn't even close. BYU 36, Colorado 14. They played the Alamo Bowl. Didn't they play in the regular season too? Yeah. This is Alamo Bowl. That's all I see. Huh. So yeah. In any event, if you think Sanders, I'm trying to think of the last time I remember a team drafting 2 quarterbacks in the same draft was like Kirk Cousins and Robert Griffin III. And that turned into a circus, right?
It could just be the Browns are cursed when it comes to quarterback.
I don't think it's a curse to be stupid. It's just like, how about just don't be stupid?
Well, no, there's like that meme where they have all the different nameplates of all the starters of Browns quarterbacks since they restarted the organization.
Yeah, they drafted a good quarterback. His name was Baker Mayfield. I don't know why they didn't just stay with Baker.
That's a good point.
Because they're stupid. That's why.
Yeah.
Like whoever's running the team is stupid.
Flacco has already started for them, so he's already on the
jersey.
That's
the big question. Is he going to be back on the jersey?
But they might have 3 different quarterbacks. So there could be Sanders.
3 more on this. Yeah.
Sanders.
That is actually what I'm rooting for. Is I'm just rooting for that jersey. I want to see more and more names on that jersey.
You got Sanders, Gabriel, and Pickett. So
Pickett. Yeah. I mean, that's so awesome that Pickett's going to be on that jersey.
I think Sanders was a Hasselman pick. He wants the hype to generate buzz. Yeah, I don't know.
Then why didn't they just pick him in the 3rd round and be done with it? My problem isn't that they picked either of those guys. My problem is that they picked both of them.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows like abject disorganization and just stupidity. It's just like Draft one guy.
I mean, if you take the 2 quarterbacks out, or just say they only took 1 quarterback, is
Yeah,
a really
just
good
pick one.
draft. So
Yeah.
I don't think drafting 2 quarterbacks is really that big of a deal.
I do.
Because I think Pickett might be bad enough where you could probably just store him on your practice squad. I don't think anyone's gonna.
I think you're unnecessarily assassinating the character of Kenny Pickett. Is Kenny Pickett a starting NFL quarterback? Probably not. But could you stash him on a practice squad? No.
I think you could.
Why? He could be a backup for anybody. I'd take him over Browning.
Pickett? No way.
Yes.
Nah, I'm fairly confident.
He's a
Browning could be a French.
below average NFL quarterback who does not turn the ball over. This perfect backup.
You're talking about Pickett?
Yeah. Like the guy did not turn the ball over last time he started for the Steelers. Is he like a franchise guy? No. Is he like a guy that you can stash on a practice squad? There is no way. With the number of quarterback injuries, the team would not just snag him so fast and just have him be the backup. Because you could go in, and if your defense plays well, you still have a shot on winning a game because he's not going to lose games for you. There's so many guys that will take snaps in the NFL next season that like they can't play at all, and you have to worry about them just completely wrecking your chances of winning. And
Yeah, that would be crazy to keep 4 QBs on the roster. It just doesn't seem smart.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, what are they doing?
So they're not going to cut the 2 that they drafted.
They might. That's what I'm saying. It's stupid.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Washington, I think is his name. Because I want to say he actually took over Geno Stone's spot, Washington, and I think technically he did better than what Geno did. Well, I don't know. Geno Stone's last year with the Ravens was pretty solid.
I thought they drafted a corner. Didn't they draft the guy from Texas?
Starks. No, they got Starks, the guy from Georgia.
Oh, Malachi Starks.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that they'll be fine at safety.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Ravens. They're always going to have a solid defense.
They're just going to be good. They're always good.
They're going to have a solid pass rush. I think they've always been kind of known for giving up a lot of yards, passing yards, or at least against the Bengals. Miles, Jesse, Smollett, Garrett. I'm not sure if I understand the reference.
Yeah, I don't understand. We need more context.
Like, Smollett was a guy that pretended that he got beat up by.
Yeah, with the bleach and all that.
Yeah.
But
what does that got to do with Miles Garrett, though?
I don't know. Oh, it looks like him.
I guess I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
But then I honestly don't really
know.
remember what Jesse Smollett, or whatever his name is, looks like.
I don't remember what it looks like either. I guess Miles Garrett.
No, I think Garrett will be happy because I think it's a win-win for them. They could be kind of competitive and potentially make the playoffs if things go the way they potentially think it could go, or they could just tank and get Arch Manning.
Okay, so he's saying that he pretended that he wanted to leave. Gotcha.
Well, it worked out.
That's just how you get money, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I think.
Wait, what happened to the Eagles? Is it worse than the Bengals? But then looking at the Bengals schedule, I don't think it was as bad as what I initially thought. That middle portion of the schedule looks pretty soft, and then we end with 2 home games. Have agreed to retire Sanders' number after he makes the practice squad.
Raul's coming for the Browns.
Oh, the Eagles travel so much. I don't know. I think there is a bit of fatigue, but also I feel like the Eagles are like an organization where they probably have really nice planes and they probably make it fun.
Fun?
Yeah.
How do you make the plane ride fun? Where's some ideas?
I don't know. Have
For
some decent snacks. Have
snacks?
movies. Yeah.
Movies?
Movies, games.
Yeah. Like Stratego games?
Come
Like
out
video
with
games?
like I guess new athletic wear, like NFL players, they get all those. Basically, they get all the athletic wear for free, and then we're stuck. If you want to get it from like Nike, we have to pay like $80
Yeah.
to get a long sleeve T-shirt.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I kind of remember when I played football, I was kind of into that stuff, like the equipment and getting like the team gear and having
Yeah,
the
that's the
colors.
best stuff is the team gear.
So yeah, I feel like if they do little things like that, they can kind of make it fun.
I don't
Oh,
think
that
so.
doesn't know how to spell Eagles. Yeah, they made that into like a meme, or at least the city did, because there's people that got cupcakes that had the misspelling.
Yeah.
Funny how the script flipped back in Howie Roseman's favor. Eagles fans wanted him fired in 2021, especially after taking Jalen Rieger over Justin Jefferson. Wow, that is
Whoops.
kind of crazy to think about.
Is that a mistake?
I would say so.
I guess. What were their RAS?
Wait, when was Justin Jefferson picked? Was he the
year
17th
before
pick?
Jamar Chase, right?
I meant the actual number.
Oh,
I feel like he was
I
like
think top 5, right? I don't know.
No, not Justin Jefferson.
I'm Googling it fast and furious.
But that was the same draft that T. Higgins was picked in the second round, first pick in the second round. That draft, I feel like, was pretty loaded with receivers in terms of prospects.
2020 draft. Here we go. Going to our friend's Wikipedia. So Henry Ruggs was 12. Jerry Jeudy was 15. CeeDee Lamb 17. Justin Jefferson 22. And then Jalen Rieger 21.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to look back and.
Well, then you got Brandon Ayuk was 25. T. Higgins was 33, and then Michael Pittman was 34. So you could argue that all those guys are better than Rieger, right? I don't know his stats.
I haven't heard of Rieger's name in a while, but I guess he could have played in the game last year against the Bengals.
They played against. He was on New England last year. He might not even be in the league anymore. His totals in receiving in 2020 were 396, then 299, then 104, then 138. But in 2022, he played for the Vikings. That's crazy.
Wait. Rieger played for the Vikings?
Yeah.
That's ironic.
I really do think.
Cool. Well, is there anything else you want to say about the schedule or talk about?
No, I'm scheduled out.
Yeah, I need to get to bed soon. Got to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But thank you, Dustin, Raul, for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Yeah. It's always fun to see the chat active. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. Got to figure out the button first.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Shoot.
Hold on.
Jump the gun. No.
All right.
How about now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Overtime. There you go.